It's Miss Alana working on math, being smart, awesome, and amazing. Just like you, we are working on this week's tasks and standards. In this video, we are going over the purple table standards. Just so you know, I have some creepers outside my door. Hi, tutorial students. They're out there waiting so I can go ahead and record this video so you can get ready to learn and watch if you need some help. So let's begin by reading the domain right there. It says numbering operations, fractions, our essential questions. How do fraction lengths affect the area of a rectangle? Here is our learning target. I can use strategies to find and write the area of a rectangle with fraction side lengths. Flipping it over to the back side, we have our standard. So go ahead and read that with me. It says, find the area of a rectangle with fractional side lengths by tiling it with unit squares of the appropriate unit fraction side lengths, and show that the area is the same as would be found by multiplying the side lengths. We have some vocabulary words. Now, remember, what are you writing in your journal? Go ahead and write the learning target, but you can write all these other important things too. So if you want to write the vocabulary, there it is right there. Area, rectangle, side lengths, unit squares, unit fraction, multiplying. And our rigor, our challenge for this task is to find the area of a rectangle, tiling with unit squares, and show area by multiplying side lengths. Now, there are two different tasks, two different videos for this standard, so make sure if this is not the right one, go find the other video. Well, if this is the right one, then bam, you are where you're supposed to be. Let us begin. All right, so here we have a model. What shape is that? It's a rectangle. So you see the whole yellow rectangle, but it's made into different parts. It's cut in different parts. We have, what is the area of the shaded figure above?
Fifth grade. Tutorial students, please report to the cafeteria to receive your snack. And anyone else.
Fifth grade. You guys already went to get your snack. So shout out to all my kids that are in tutorial. That's right. They're spending every Tuesday afternoon at school. More time, more learning to get smarter and smarter. So if you are not in tutorial, make sure you are practicing and studying at home also. All right, moving on. Let's read our clues for learning. Find the area two ways. Okay, so for this problem, I want you to find the area two ways. First, add all the tiles used to create the rectangle. Second, multiply the side lengths. Don't forget to change the mixed numbers into improper fractions. Now, before we begin, let's look at the rectangle. What's our key word here? We are finding the area. We're finding the area. And what is the area? So the area is the space that shape takes up. It's how much space that shape takes up. And remember, area is for flat objects. It's for two-dimensional objects. And we have a formula for that. What is that? Length times width. So that's that second way to multiply the length times the width. So we would multiply 2.5 times 3 1/4. And the first way is to count the tiles. So if you notice, this is the whole rectangle, and it was cut up into different pieces. Here's a one whole piece, a one whole piece, a one whole piece, and 1/4 piece right there. And that's what gives you that 3 1/4. Look, 1, 2, 3, and 1/4. See, look, 1, 2, 3, and 1/4. 1, 2, 3, and 1/4 right there. And going this way, it's 2.5. Look, 1, 2.5, 1, 2.5, 1, 2.5, 1, 2.5. Now, obviously, those are not wholes because that is that 1/4 piece right there. So let's do the first way. The first way is by counting the tiles, adding the tiles together. So easy. The numbers are right there. Look, I have a 1, a 1, a 1, there's a 1/4, the 1, 1, 1. So I can actually just go ahead and add those one wholes together. How much do I have? I have 6. Make sure you're writing this in your journal. Don't just copy my work. Make sure you write all the work, show all the work, and not only that, understand what you're doing, okay? Because just copying my answer, that doesn't help you get smart. It helps you get it done, but it doesn't doesn't help you to get smarter, which is what I need for you to do, is get smarter and smarter. You all are too loud in the hallway. Too loud in the hallway, so guess what? It's going to be quiet time when we get in here. Now we have the 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. No, not 1/8. 1/2, 1/2, 1/2. So do you see that? 1/2, 1/2, 1/2. I'm going to go tell him to be quiet. I'll be right back. Y'all already know that y'all not supposed to be over here talking. Y'all are too loud. I don't need your help. That's going to be everybody when you come in here is a quiet session. I don't know why y'all just be talking. Let's talk about some smart stuff, some learning stuff, okay? So just don't waste your breath on nonsense. All right, move along. We have 1/2, 1/2, 1/2. So we need to add that 3 times. So that's 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2. And I know some people could do what? 1/2 times 3, right? And what's that? Now remember, the denominators are the same. Keep them the same. So that's a 2. That's 3 halves. Or we could do it this way. Put a 1 right here. 1 times 3 is 3.
Please come to the front.
And 2. So that's 6 plus 3 halves. And then we have the 1/4 and 1/4. How much is that? That's 2 fourths. You can work it out. 1/4 plus 1/4 is 2 fourths. Or 1/4 times 2 is what? That's a 2 over 1, 2 fourths. So add that over here, plus 2 fourths. And then I have that 1/8 by itself, so let's just write that down. Plus 1/8. All right, now, see? I tell y'all to be quiet and y'all still talking. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and erase this. Make sure you have that, okay? Make sure you have that work. Now, to add these fractions together, you can add them 2 by 2. I'm going to go ahead and add them all together. But what do you notice? That the denominators are not the same. We have unlike denominators, unlike fractions, so we need to make sure they have the same denominator. So looking at 2, 4, and 8, what denominator can we use? No, we can't use 2. We can't use 4, but we can use 8. You can also use 12 as a denominator if you would like to. We can use 24. You can use, what else? 32. But let's go ahead and use the smallest one. Let's use 8. All right, and now let's convert them to equivalent fractions. 2 times what is 8? 2 times 4 is 8, so I need to do 3 times 4, which is 12. And yes, that's an improper fraction just like that. Just leave it right there, okay? 4 times what is 8? 4 times 2. So I do 2 times 2, which is 4. And 8 times what is 8? 8 times 1. So we do times 1, which is 1. Now leave that 6 by itself. We'll add that in the end. Now let's add all this together. My denominator stays the same. That's an 8. What's 12 plus 4? 12 plus 4 is 16, plus 1 is 17. So I have 17 over 8. But that is an improper fraction, so we need to change it to a mixed number. Let's do that by dividing. 17 divided by 8. 8 goes into 17 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. Subtract, that's 1. So I have what? 2 and 1/8 right here. But don't forget I have that 6 whole. So now let's put them together. And what do we have? 8 and 1/8. And the unit is what? Oh, they didn't even give you a unit. So the area of that shaded figure is 8 and 1/8. Are we done? My phone's ringing. Hold on. All right, now I'm going to have to call him back later. All right, so now we did that the first way by counting the tiles and adding those together. There's a second way, and how do we do that? By multiplying the length times the width. So let me go ahead and erase this. Remember 8 and 1/8. So now we do the other way, and our answer should what? It should be the same. So now I have 3 and 1/4 times 2 1/2. So you can't just multiply. You can't just do 3 times 2. We can't do that. We have to change them, look at your clues, into improper fractions. And how do we do that? Multiply the whole number by the denominator. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13 over 4, times 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 2. And now, when we multiply, we just multiply straight across. We don't have to worry about the denominators, finding like denominators. We just multiply straight across. 13 times 5, we can work it out right here. 13 times 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Put the 1 up top. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So we have 65 over what? What's 4 times 8? That is 32. Now what do we do? Okay, let's go ahead and simplify, or we can divide. Did I do this right? Okay, so we can divide. All right, 32 goes into 65 how many times? Oh my gosh, where did I mess up? Oh, y'all didn't tell me. Look, why did I make that an 8? It's a 2. I was wondering. I was like, this does not look right. It does not look right. Erase. Erase, erase, erase. Erase. No, hold on. Not an 8. No. All right. See, I've noticed that. I'm like, my answer doesn't look like it's going to be the same. So that's a 2. Make sure you always check your work. 4 times 2, that's an 8. I guess I don't even know what I did. All right. So we're going to divide. 8 goes into 65. How many times? You should do your times table. That's 8 times. 8 times 8 is 64. Subtract that. How many is left? 1. So my answer is 8 and 1/8. Oh, bam, there we go. That answer matches the answer that we got earlier when we did the first way by counting the tiles and adding them together. 2 ways, count the tiles, add them together. Second way, multiply the length times the width. Don't forget to change your mixed numbers into improper fractions. We are done with this task. If you need to find the other task in the same standard, go ahead and find that. If you need to find the other videos, go do that. Remember, work your best, do your best every day, get smarter and smarter. Love you.